Yassin, beyond immediate market shocks, how will these tariffs reshape the very structure of European steel supply chains, and what unseen financial vulnerabilities are now exposed within the Eurozone?
Of course, what American President Donald Trump has done with the tariff, especially with the steel production here in Europe, this is like unprecedented. It hasn't ever been done before. So there's no measures by which the European Union can follow historically. It is something new, entirely new, unprecedented. So only the EU has to cope with the new measures being taken by President Trump. Of course, the implications of such tariffs will be huge, will be immense on the companies who are producing mainly steel here in Europe. Retaliation from the European Union, I can't see any kind of steps to retaliate.
You
Because
cannot see, sir?
I can see.
You can see, so you have a vision.
Because the Europeans, like they trade a lot with the with the United States, and the balance between the two sides, of course, it is on favor of Europe. So that's why they can't retaliate. They can do very little. Another reason why the Europeans cannot retaliate, because the US cannot. I mean, they don't export a lot. This is the nature of the American economy. That's the parameters of the American economy. It is kind of like self-sufficient within itself. The American economy doesn't rely on export, and that's the main explanation why there is imbalance between trade between US and EU. So all what the Europeans can do is just like wait, because I don't think Donald Trump will be able to carry on for a very long time in this economic dangerous measures, because those tariffs he has imposed on EU, on Mexico, on Canada, especially on the US imports from Mexico and Canada, that definitely will raise inflation within the US, and once inflation has risen to one certain level. But,
okay,
of course,
Dr. Yassin, do I understand from your narrative or what you're saying or your take is that what happened is unprecedented from the side of the United States, and that the European Union will not cope with what US President Donald Trump is doing, and it adds to this the tariffs, which will cause inflation in the United States. So could you please make me a wider image of the situation, and is the United States going to win out of what it's doing, or is the United States or the European is the losers and they have to do something as a counter defense attack to solve what's going on with what of course US President Donald Trump is doing now?
I mean, what we're having now between the US and EU, economically, we can describe it as a trade war.
It's a trade war.
When it comes to trade war, there is no winners. Like all sides will be losers, and I would expect the U.S. economy to be one of the top losers, because if Donald Trump carries on, implying those tariffs, especially on U.S. import of daily consumer product, what the U.S. importing from Mexico and Canada, that's for sure is going to raise inflation inside the U.S. And then the Federal Reserve will have no other choice unless to raise interest rate. And
how will the European Union react then, sir? We got that the U.S. will the inflation will increase in the United States, and they will have internal problems. What about the European Union? How are they going to fight what's going to take place in the European Union?
They can't fight. They have no tools to fight the US because the trade between the two parties,
How
it
will
is
they
in
solve the
favor.
situation, sir?
I don't expect Donald Trump to carry on for a very long time, like imposing those tariffs, because those tariffs will raise inflation within the US. And then, like, criticism within the US will be very severe against Trump. Only then Trump will surrender and will stop those tariffs. Like from the European Union, I don't see any kind of tools, any kind of retaliation like to be used against Trump measures, because the US doesn't export a lot of products. I mean, mainly some jeans, like some clothing and like alcohol product. Besides, like technical kind of products, but all the other like economic blocks, they started producing similar technical products, even better and cheaper, especially in China. So I don't think the EU can do any kind of retaliation.